every time you start a new Facebook ad account, you're limited to $50 a day in ad spend. So the question is, how the heck do I increase the $50 ad spend limit, and how fast can I increase it?
I'm going to let you take that one straight up.
Okay. It's actually a two-part answer, excuse me. The first one is the only way to increase it is one, you can go the long way, and it's by earning trust. Facebook will increase it as you earn good favorability with paying their invoices, frankly. And the moment a credit card bounces and it doesn't pay for it, you start from the beginning. So don't do that. So that's the hard way. Yeah. And that could take months. The other way, and this is a secret way, create a support ticket with a chat support. Take that support ticket, and we have a rep, and then we forward that to our rep. They escalate that to their secret in-house policy team because we are a high-level agency, and it gets cleared right away. So that's the proper way to do it if you have a rep, which is the good part working with an agency. But if you don't, the hard way is going to have to be earning your way there, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure. And I love how that was a plug for like the fact that we're a Meta partner.
There are benefits.
There are benefits. That is a very real thing, guys. As much as possible, do start that ticket. We learned ourselves that even with interfacing with our reps, if there's no ticket that goes to them, we then have to go create one ourselves, this and the other. So we like helping other people that help us. So internally, we just started like a support ticket and then shoot that over to the rep. Very relevant, especially now as we're going into high spend season and not wanting to hit ad account spend limits. We get our founders to do the same on their credit card side, just to make sure that thing doesn't get blocked as well. But in terms of that $50, that starting budget, try to get a rep as much as possible. Or don't forget, there's also LinkedIn where you can connect with some of Facebook employees over there too, if you just don't have or don't want to engage with an agency. Or you can just DM like someone at an agency and be like, hey, is this something you can help me out with? Like, I've got a brand, this perspective. And they might go, hey, you know what? This is someone that I want to earn their business later when they're spending more. And they might just like kind of throw you a bone. A few little ways to get there. Or you can just grind it out.
Smart. Yeah, that's actually really smart. Like, can you become friends with someone that can help you out? That's a really good idea.
Dude, when I had my tech startup before Right Hook, that's how I managed to weasel my way into pitching Guy Kawasaki. Like, I got to sit in front of Guy Kawasaki, one of the earliest employees and like chief evangelist of Apple, and pitch him my startup because I just weaseled my way through like different types of connections. And yeah, like I did that for being able to pitch a whole bunch of really big names.
That's really good. I love the hustle that you have. I think that's a really good strategy. A lot of times you can hustle your way to find a solution. Okay, so I have another question for you. Okay, so this is one that I think a lot of people are feeling, especially the last 2 months when performance was down, frankly, is how do you make good video ads that scale?
How do you make good video ads that scale? First and foremost, do not go high production. Because there's a reason why. It's not just because of personal preference. Do not go high production because you're dropping a lot of money into one concept, right? So you don't get a really quick feedback loop, right? And also most production teams, and I'm talking about traditional production teams, tend to think in narrative or think in montage, not think in hooks and angles and the problem solution awareness spectrum, right? So in other words, try to go for volume and think in hooks, angles, but the narrative is the narrative towards the close, number one. And then number two, what I mean by thinking in hooks is that you should always be thinking about how the first 3 seconds, or at least a great starting point is how the first 3 seconds, you can show people something that pulls them into the rest of the video. And then you want to think about a way to have a cliffhanger every 5 to 7 seconds after that, so that people kind of stick along, and it's doing the selling for you in that way. Once you find the one that pings, and the one that pings is not the one that you personally like, The one that pings is the one that prints you money. Then you iterate on that one, and that becomes the winner. And you try to create ones to beat that winner. And then you go again, and you go again, and you go again. That's my take on it.
So how you make a video ad that scales? What my approach would be is actually comes from an episode we did with Yami Nu. I think that was like episode 7 or 8, actually. And have zero pre-definitions or assumptions of what a video ad scaling is. Like, go in with curiosity. I feel like that's the big underlying theme, is like, just be curious. And my goal is to scale. It's not to make something pretty per se. Sometimes our point always the same. Now, tactically, how I would approach it and how we approach it is whatever the product is, what is the mass desire of that product? Every product has more than one mass desire. An energy drink, a mass desire is energy. It could be the health of it. It could be the longevity of your body or of your mind. There's many mass desires. So find which of those is the biggest one or the most painful for people. So we typically start there, okay? Then we craft the ad around that mass desire, and we create a concept of how can we then display that solution to that problem in that ad. Now, you break that down to components. You have the hook, then you have the presentation of the product, then you have demonstration of how it helps it or explanation of how it helps it, and then a call to action. So, and as quick as possible, that's how I would go about approaching it. But underlying all of it is, can you just remain very curious to allow yourself to do something you wouldn't normally be okay with following that structure I mentioned, and you'll be shockingly surprised how well that works.
Follow up from that too, in terms of scale, using the messaging and the ad or the creative to tap into a new market. I think case in point, the example that you showed of that one supplement brand, most supplement brands go after, like, gym bros, gym rats, meatheads, etc. And then this one goes, RIP your dad bod. Now, right? So then it's like, okay, well, is there a market to tap into there? Right? The non-gym goers, that's why they have the dad bod in the first place. But they still want to be able to, they still want to take the supplements and feel like they're training and all that. So I think that's a key piece, to use creative to scale into new markets.
Great. So actually, if you're okay with it, I want to show an ad that our team showed us this week that is scaling. The ad is simple, but there's a really great strategy that I freaking love in video ads, and I think it's worth watching. So this is actually made by David and his team on our team, amazing strategist for a cosmetic brand. So let me pull up this ad real quick. And we're going to watch it, and then we can kind of dissect why this ad is working so well.
You feel like you've gone in with too much. Look at it already. Oh my God. Instantly lifted, instantly brightened. Like, it literally works so easily. See how I've got darkness under my eyes? This can make a massive difference to your makeup. And a lot of people have trouble using color correctors and brightening concealers because they settle, they crease, they feather, can kind of even age you further. So this powder will actually completely color correct that darkness. It will brighten, it will lift the face, and it is so easy.
So I'm going to pause right here. D, what are a couple elements that you know already? Because one thing we learned from our team is that this has a 40% hold rate, which is 40% of the people who watch this video keep watching.
Yeah, for sure. Jump straight to the action, and then go and then go set the context. By the way, just by the by, a lot of movies actually do this. If you watch most of the recent James Bond movies, and I think they might do it in John Wick as well. What do I mean? The movie doesn't start with like in a world and then some slow action. They throw you straight, like, and James Bond is straight in a car chase already, right? Rolling down the streets, trying to dodge cars, like motorcycles, or like people on motorcycles are shooting at James Bond. He kind of spins around and all that. They start with the action, get your adrenaline kind of pumped up a little bit, and then they weave you into the story so they don't lose you. Same kind of concept, just on social. They're pumping you up.
Thing I'd add is, if you ever watched a Mr. Beast video, let's say he's going to smash a Ferrari. The video opens with, I'm going to smash a Ferrari. And this Ferrari falls right before you see the action. He starts the video. Okay, guys, today we're going to smash a Ferrari. So like, it starts with the climax, without giving away everything, and then you have to watch to get that fulfillment of the climax. Wait, that sounds awfully familiar to something. I don't know what. Yeah, so that's the strategy I absolutely love, is start with the climax and then have them to get the fulfillment of it. They actually have to watch the video. And the second thing is she followed the same format. If you guys didn't watch it, is once the video started over after that climax, the problem. Don't you guys have this problem with your eyes, right? Then presentation of the product, the solution. And it followed a very simple format, very fundamental in how it was structured, but just adding those different pieces together just has an amazingly good creative that's scaling.